Greetings, my pumpkins who be smashing. I am Asherella. This is original Asherella, and the news of Jeff Schroeder's leaving the Smashing Pumpkins has really gotten me thinking about my favorite people that used to be in the Smashing Pumpkins. It has inspired me to do a little thing here, do a little countdown, do a little series here on original Asherella, where I have been counting down my 5 favorite past pumpkins, and some of these people on the list were absolutely 100% without a doubt full-fledged band members, and some people were, you know, touring musicians and studio musicians, but anybody that ever played regularly with the Pumpkins or were actually in the band, you know, was eligible for this list. And number 5 was Jonathan Melvoin, number 4 was Matt Walker, number 3, my girl Ginger Pooley, and today's video I'm going to tell you who number 2, my second favorite, used to be a pumpkin. And I will tell you that I knew who number 1 and number 2 were going to be, but I really struggled with who was going to be number 2 and who was going to be number 1. And they've flipped back and forth in my head over the past several days. But, you know, I've made my decision and there is no turning back now. So I am going to tell you guys who my second favorite past pumpkin is in just 1 second. But before I do, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on ODYSEE, follow the channel. You can gently press the notification bell on either platform so you know every time I upload a video. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, watch till the end of the video. Find me on the social things, follow me on the social things. I have the X thing, I have the Threads thing, and I have the Insta thing.
This is a song for a blown out bird.
Number 2 is Mr. Jeff Schroeder himself. Now, I couldn't have a list inspired by Jeff without having Jeff on it. Not to mention, I love Jeff. Like, I am so sad to see him gone. Like, I did not want to believe the news when it came out. Like, I was in hardcore denial. I even did a video on my denial, you know. I was like, no way. Until Jeff himself posted about it, I was like, nuh-uh, no way. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you know. I don't care who you think you know. Jeff is not leaving the band, but I was wrong. I was oh so wrong, and he is leaving the band, and we know, and he actually just did an interview with Guitar World, that there was no bad blood, no hard feelings, that he hadn't really discussed leaving the band with anybody, and he just felt like it was time. He wanted to do some solo work, and, you know, I thought it was really interesting that he had mentioned in the Guitar World article that, like, he had always had his own band. It wasn't like he had, you know, ever really been in other people's bands until the Smashing Pumpkins. And, you know, I think that's interesting. I know Jeff is going to be super successful no matter what he chooses to do with music or anything else in the world. But I have for many years now accepted Jeff Schroeder into my heart as a full pumpkin. Like, at this point, for me, I look at Jeff as almost as much of a pumpkin as, you know, James or Jimmy. Like, Jeff has been there, you know, he represented a new era of the band. Like, he was there, like, I mean, I really think he stepped in very nicely when Billy got the band back together, you know, during the Zeitgeist era. You know, he stood by Billy through a lot of lows, through a lot of criticism, through a lot of, oh, the Pumpkins are not the Pumpkins anymore, the Pumpkins aren't going to do anything great anymore, and, you know, we have proven all that wrong at this point, and Jeff has been a major part of that. Like, he has been loyal, he has been true, he is a great guy, he is an, like, insane talent of guitar player, you know, he is a genuinely, like, intellectual and thoughtful person. I've been such a big fan of Jeff, and I really am so sad to see him go. My last video was the This Time reaction, and that talks about, like, the end of the band, you know, the 90s era of the band, and I get really, really emotional during that video, and, you know, one of my comments was like, probably Jeff's recent departure is one of the things that's kind of stirred up those feels so hard for you. Well, I should get, and you know, and I think they're right. But like I said, I was totally not wanting the news of Jeff leaving to be true, but it is, and you know, we have no hard feelings toward him. Maybe he'll be back someday. You never know. Sorry, I had to take my glasses off. Like, the reflection, I didn't realize how bad the reflection was till I just saw it. But, so while we're talking about Jeff, you know, I want to watch a couple videos. One of them is A Day in the Life, and it's like the first year or so that Jeff joined the band. It's Jeff in his hotel room, and, you know, he hadn't been with the band all that long. It's just talking about what he's doing when he's in his room and when they're not rehearsing and that kind of thing. And I think it's kind of a sweet video. It really... Jeff is very endearing in this video. You can't help but like the guy. Like, and if anybody doesn't like him, like, we will have words, because there's nothing to not like about Jeff. And then we're gonna watch a performance with Jeff, and it is actually a really special performance to me. We're gonna be watching a song from one of the 2007 Asheville residencies, which was the first time, you know, Jeff toured out with the band, and my first time seeing Jeff live with the band. So that's especially, you know, nice and important and special for me.
Hello, it's Jeff. How you doing? This is my swanky hotel room here at the blank blank hotel. Just hanging out, getting ready for the day, and you know, this is where I live my life at the moment.
You know, before joining the Smashing Pumpkins, we know that Jeff was working on, like, his PhD in literature, I think, whenever he auditioned to join the band. And he was a Smashing Pumpkins fan when he joined. And like with Ginger, it's like, is that not, like, a freaking dream come true? But, like, I've mentioned this so many times, I do feel like Jeff just fit the role very nicely. You know, there was a whole... and he was the perfect fit for it.
It's actually really nice to be set up here for a couple weeks and have some sense of home to go to after the end of the day or start your day. Something to get used to where you can actually hang things up in the closet rather than just leave them in your suitcase. I actually wish this was. I mean, if this was my view of where I actually lived, it's awesome. You know, so. I mean, if you can sit down and work right there, that's what your view is. It's pretty rad. Well, I always bring my... Billy and I both, we go record shopping as much as we can, so...
You know, Jeff is a little nerdy, and he's always been a little nerdy, but when you, like, see this guy, like, international rock star is not what you think, but he so is, you know? Like, and I really love that Jeff has grown his hair out long now. It was always kind of awkward the way he had it in the first several years of the band. I mean, that's just me being a girl and being, like, into hair and clothes and stuff like that. But Jeff, his long hair, fly if.
I actually have a portable turntable. It's really small, can fit in my suitcase, so I stuff that, and then whatever records I buy, whatever town I'm in, I can sit and listen to. So it's actually nice, and I don't have to listen to music off my iPod. I can actually listen to the vinyl that I buy. You see there's like a ton of books around, so I go, I'm an avid reader and book shopper, so I tend to carry a lot of books and buy a lot of books. So yeah, I'm usually pretty good if I have like some records, some books, my computer. That's kind of all I need. Yeah. Usually I have a guitar, but actually I left my
records, books, computer, and guitar. Sounds pretty reasonable to me.
Guitar, so I play guitar usually in the morning for a little bit. But we're rehearsing so much that I'm already playing a lot of guitar every day. So, but at a normal show, I usually play guitar for a couple hours in the morning too.
I just personally think that video of Jeff in his hotel room, and like he's very newly in the band. You can tell he's a little timid, a little shy, you know, still easing into that kind of lifestyle, I think. But it's really sweet. And this next video I wanted to share. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is from the 2007 Orange Peel Asheville, North Carolina residency. This was a huge deal for me, right? Like the biggest deal in my life up to that point, pretty much, because the Pumpkins were back together and I was getting to see my band again. And they were playing in my home, you know. It was a huge deal. They did a residency in Asheville, North Carolina, and then a residency in San Francisco. And like of all the places on the East Coast they could have chosen to play this residency, it was in Asheville, North Carolina, where I lived, you know, like it's a big deal. And so anywho, you know, this specific show. We're gonna listen to them play "Bleeding the Orchid" because that is off of Zeitgeist. That was a new song in this era. You know, as much as I hate to say this and admit it, I don't remember what days, like what shows that I went to. I went to 2 and it was back to back, but I don't remember the actual dates, and it's been many, many years ago, and I don't have anything to reference now, so I'm not exactly sure what 2 shows I was at, but I have watched through a lot of these Asheville Orange Peel live performances to see if I could see myself in the crowd, and as of yet, I have not had any luck with that, but maybe eventually. So this is not great quality, but it is Bleeding the Orchid, 2007, the Smashing Pumpkins at the Orange Peel, which is a great club venue if you're ever in this part of the country, this part of North Carolina. Look up the bands that are playing there. They get amazing acts. The Orange Peel, Smashing Pumpkins, Asheville. Let's watch. There's Jeff.
If nothing means no one, then blind I'm alone. If fear conquers the light, I can alone. Never flower, blood from the dawn. So yeah, upon your stage, the last we share, the grace we stand.
I know I say this anytime we talk about anything Zeitgeist related, but if you said you didn't like Zeitgeist or you never listened to Zeitgeist, you need to give it another listen because it is a great album. This song, Bleeding the Orchid, is on Zeitgeist. Just saying.
Less in my crowns, there's 8 bombs a sequence of one. It's freedom's that evil, with savage no one. There's clouds in my shower, gals in my
I want the camera to pan over to Jeff since we're talking about Jeff, but like I mentioned, this set of shows was the first time I had seen Jeff Schroeder live with the Smashing Pumpkins. That because these shows were such a big deal to me, I will always remember, my first time seeing Jeff Schroeder play with the Smashing Pumpkins. And while these are absolutely not the best Smashing Pumpkin shows I've ever been to, they have a very special place in my heart because of just what they were. If I was at the show, I would have been somewhere kind of in between Jeff and Billy. I very often end up somewhere in between Jeff and Billy. Alright, that was Bleeding the Orchid on the first tour that Jeff was with the Pumpkins. You know, I gotta say, I'm really kicking myself for not fighting harder for one of Jeff's guitar picks at the World is a Vampire Tour show. As you guys know at this point, I was pretty much right in front of Jeff, like, the entire concert. Like, I was on, like, the Jack and Jeff side of Billy. I wasn't like right in front of Billy. I was more like in between Jeff and Billy. So I got a lot of both of their interaction. Like, I mean, had tons of Jeff Schroeder eye contact during the show, and he absolutely like threw a pick at me, and I didn't catch it. But like at the end of the show when they're throwing a bunch out, and he threw one right at me. I didn't catch it. I would have fought harder for it had I known Jeff was going to be leaving the band. But, you know, I got my William Patrick Corgan pick, which I can't be greedy, I guess. But now it's like, will I ever get a Jeff Schroeder guitar pick? I don't know. But, yeah, Jeff, we're really going to miss him. And he is number 2 on my top 5 favorite past Pumpkins. Who do you guys think is going to be number 1 on my list? I'm really curious, very eager to hear what you guys think. Who's going to be my number 1? You might be able to guess. You probably will be able to guess. I got lots to say about this person, and we're going to do it in my next 5 favorite past Pumpkins video, but that is it for today. Jeff, we love you. Jeff, we were going to miss you so much. I don't know. I just don't know what else to say. Like, it hurts me in the heart. But anyway, I am Asherella. This is Original Asherella. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on ODYSEE, follow the channel. You can gently press the notification bell on either platform so you know every time I upload a video. Leave me a like, leave me a comment. Find me on my social things. Follow me on my social things. The Insta thing, the X thing, the Thread thing. Go to Twitch. Find Original Asherella on Twitch. And then on Sundays at 8-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time, tune in for Kino and Commentary. It's a movie show, different content than here, but it is a good time, so you want to check that out. Always tap in, never tap out, and don't forget to keep on smashing like a pumpkin.